making mastery learning a reality one day at a time. Hey, today I want to talk about something I probably should have known before, and as you probably know, in the mastery learning classroom, students are oftentimes working alone or in small groups. And I am walking around helping students, but that means my attention isn't directly on the whole class all at the same time, but on small groups of students. Well, what often happens is students are distracted. I don't know if your students are like mine, but my students sometimes get distracted, and I have found a way to get them less distracted. I am now collecting all of their cell phones. Our students have devices. They've got laptops that they're issued at the beginning of the school year, or actually at the beginning they start school, and they keep them for 4 years. And me collecting their cell phones has totally changed the climate of the classroom. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. It's like, see, sometimes I want them to use their cell phones because I think it's a useful device, and I'm not trying to bar them, but I think there's something that's going on with our students where it's an addiction. I mean, they just can't stand not being around their phone. Even today, I had collected the phones, and then I saw a kid on his phone, and I confiscated it, and he just couldn't stand being away from his phone for more than a few minutes. And to be honest, I think probably many of us have that same issue too. But I think what's going on is that our students are not able to focus on one thing at a time or deeply. And so and the idea of mastery is that you master something, and the idea of mastery is that you're going to have to focus on something so you can learn it. And if there is this little device that keeps beeping and buzzing and whatevering, then that creates all kinds of problems. So anyways, that's the big takeaway from this week. But the second thing that's been really good, maybe in some of this is because of the less distraction stuff, is what I love about mastery is that I really have an opportunity to work with students in small groups. And so today I saw there's sort of a big concept in science that the students are learning that's very difficult for them to grasp. And I found the 5 or 6 students who were struggling. Some of them admitted they were struggling, and some of them I just figured out, hey, and we all came up to the chalkboard or the whiteboard, whatever, and I said, let's just go over this kind of a thing. And we went over these problems together. And again, this was with the 6 of, say, 24 kids or something in the classroom. And I said, let's just go over this, let's go over this. And they, like, one girl went, boom, mind blown, I get it, I finally get it. And I think they all finally got it. And they just needed that time to grasp the concept in a distraction-free environment where, and man, they got a ton of learning happening today. It was very, very cool to see that happen. Anyway, so it's important. In fact, let me say this about the distraction thing. I really believe those people, all right, who learn to live with less distractions. I don't know that I will solve this distraction problem in our current world. Those who learn to live with less distractions will become the leaders of the world because they're the people who can focus. We need people who can give their full focus to issues and problems. I mean, let's think about our world with all the problems that are going on. You've got health issues, you've got political issues, there's all kinds of issues facing us right now. And we need people who can really focus and not get distracted by the latest Twitter, whatever, and so that they can solve the deep problems of our world. And I know personally when I have that time where I power down and whatnot, I can really get a lot more stuff done. I mean, this is how I wrote books. I turned things off so that I could focus on writing books, et cetera, et cetera. So I would encourage you, the listeners, to find ways to help your students to live less distraction-filled lives so that they can become focused on the things we teach them. But I think also these are skill sets that they need in life if they want to become the leaders, the movers, the shakers, the problem solvers that we need them to become. Hey, you can make mastery learning a reality one day at a time. I encourage you to subscribe to the podcast, but I also encourage you to like or leave a comment if you're on iTunes or something like that so that others can find this podcast. John Bergman out.